Hi guys, it is April from Getting Hookah With It. Today we're here to do my March TBR. The cup is back. We're also going to be doing a little bit of middle grade March stuff in here. So let's get into it. So let's explore the cup. We've got 12 prompts in here. If you haven't seen me do this before, it's new but not that new anymore, really. I'll link below a couple of other videos where I've done the cup of TBR. It's a little game I play with my TBR. I've got 12 prompts. I'm going to read them out to you. I pick 4. And based on those 4, I pick a bunch of books that I could read for the month. It's amazing. I love doing this. So the prompts are: try a chapter historical bonus video, favorite author, spooky, new author, try a chapter gothic bonus video, newest by, gifted, one word title, husband pick, April pick, I like those, hype, and also blurbed. So I'm gonna shuffle these guys about and then put them into the cup. Oh, they're flying everywhere. This is not going to plan. Shuffle, throw it in the cup. Here we go. Okay, try a chapter historical fiction bonus video. Oh man, this means I have to do a whole other video, and I was already thinking about doing a try a chapter. I was already thinking of doing a try a chapter children's literature bonus video. What if I combine these two for middle grade March? Because many of the books that I have here are historical in some way. I feel very excited about this. Okay, let me just see what I can do here. Okay, so I have 4 books to chat with you about. I am kind of interweaving historical fiction with middle grade for this try a chapter historical fiction bonus video. The first one I'm actually planning on reading and maybe vlogging about. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a Canadian read Anne of Green Gables for the first time, because I've never read it. I have like 2 versions on my shelves. This is one of those like beautiful penguin or Puffin and Bloom versions, and I've never read Anne, which is a shocker. This is historical fiction because we follow Anne of Green Gables. She's an orphan and she moves to PEI, and she's taken in by a brother and sister who actually wanted a boy to help them around the farm, but she shows up instead, and she kind of wins the hearts of everyone in this little town that she moves to, and she's vivacious. And I mean, I grew up watching the miniseries on CBC, and I'd really love to read this. So I will definitely be trying a chapter of this. And then, okay, this one mixes fantasy with historical fiction. It interweaves the two. Is it a bit of a stretch for this? Maybe a little, but I don't think overly. It's Sweep by Jonathan Auxerre. Apparently, he's also Canadian, which makes me very happy, and I didn't know that. Also, Lucy Montgomery is Canadian, so that's good. This is about a little girl who is a chimney sweep in Victorian London. She is orphaned, and so far she's survived it. She lives in London practically alone, and this is what she does to survive. Now, being a chimney sweep at this time was actually quite dangerous, and only little kids did this. And one day she gets stuck, but a monster comes to her rescue. She wakes up in an attic with a little monster in the corner, and they create a friendship. So I know that this is like Yes, there's historical fiction in here, for sure, based on the chimney sweep stuff. And it's set in Victorian London, but definitely there is fantasy in here. I actually really love it when those two things merge together. So there's that. I'll read a chapter of that, and then I'll also read a chapter of The Book of Boy. This is the group pick for Middle Grade March. I should mention that Middle Grade March is hosted by Krista from Books and Gems, and also Katie from Life Between Words. I think this is the 3rd or 4th year that they've done it. The Book of Boy is meant to be absolutely amazing. It's written by Elizabeth Gilbert's sister, who I knew wrote middle grade, but I had never seeked her out. But this has done very, very well for itself. I actually don't know much about this other than it's set in the Middle Ages. I really don't know much about it other than that, and I'm okay with not knowing too much, so I'll read a chapter of that. And then I've got The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. There's actually a sequel to this as well, so if I like this, I might read the sequel as well. And this follows a young girl who has spent her life kind of shut away, essentially, because she has a club foot or something. And her mother doesn't want people to see her. I think because she's embarrassed by her, which is heartbreaking. The war has come, World War II, and she and her brother, like many other British children, are shipped away to the countryside to stay safe. And so she goes to this house of a woman named Susan Smith, who didn't really want to take kids in whatsoever, but I think that they win her heart. And I just know this is going to be so heartbreaking. Yeah, I'm very eager to read a chapter of all of these. I don't know how much middle grade I'm going to actually end up reading in March, but I'm in the mood for it. So if I end up reading all of those, I would be so happy. Okay, so try a chapter historical fiction bonus video will be coming. As I said before, it will be like historical fiction meets middle grade, which I'm okay with, and I'm sure you guys are too. Okay, now I need to take one of these and place it in the cup. So I'm going to shuffle. I hope that there's not another bonus video because, oh my goodness. Let's see what we have. Ooh, new release going in the cup. Okay, so new release is in there. I'm gonna shuffle this about as well. Okay, and now I love that I close my eyes. Why do I do that? Ooh, one word title. This is always hard. Okay, I'm gonna go to my shelves and see what I can do. Okay, so I have 3 books for one word title. One of them is familiar because it's Sweep. So that's definitely an option for one word title. And then I could also read Thunderhead as another option from one word title. Thunderhead is the 2nd book in the Arc of a Scythe series. This is about a world in which people don't die, and so there's this group of people called scythes who kill people off, and they're meant to do it randomly. The first book was like so gripping, fast-paced, twisty-turny. I loved every second of it, and it's made me want to read a lot more Neil Shusterman. So this is the 2nd in the series, and I think the 3rd, I don't know if the toll is the conclusion or if it's just the 3rd in the series. Can you guys let me know? Anyway, that's an option. Me from the future with Nora in the background talking away. I wanted to mention, it looks on the actual cover like it's 2 words, but I checked inside and the word Thunderhead is used in Scythe and also in this, and it is 1 word. And on the spine it's 1 word. I just wanted to mention that in case some of you are going, that looks like 2 words. It's not, I don't think. I'm pretty, like 95% sure it's not. All right, back to the video. And then last but not least is Queenie. Now Queenie is a book that I have on a very special shelf. It's a shelf of books that I'd like to read in 2020 because of some of my favorite booktubers mentioning how much they loved Queenie in 2019. It was on some of their favorites lists. So this was a favorite of Lauren Wade and Lauren from Lauren and the Books. So this is also an option. Queenie is about a woman, a Black woman, I think in London. She's a journalist and she's really struggling with her relationship, trying to make a career for herself, and it is about her life, and it's contemporary and it's supposed to be amazing. So those are the three that I could read for one word title. Now we need to plop another prompt into the cup. So I'm going to shuffle these, not look, grab one. Why don't I just grab it from the top? I don't know why. Short read. Oh, that's always good. So we'll see if that ever comes out of the cup. Okay, I'm going to shuffle these around too. And now I'm going to pick Hype. Ooh, so many things I could choose from this. So the whole purpose of Hype is for me to read a hype to read. Something on BookTube that has been talked about a lot lately or in the past. So I need to go to my shelves and seek out something for Hype. Okay, I have quite a stack here. The first, oh, it's on the bottom of the stack. The first is actually a book that I'm currently reading. I was supposed to have read this in February. You guys picked it for me. It was between The Gentleman in Moscow, Queenie, and then also The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. So I'm in the middle of this. This was very much hyped by many of my favorite booktubers. This was a favorite of Krista's over at Books and Jams, but I know that Katie from Life Between Words really liked it. Like, tons of people have loved this. And based on the response of everyone who took my poll, like this was actually quite neck and neck with The Gentleman in Moscow, but it won out. And so many people were so excited that I was going to read this. So I am reading it. It is trickling into March just because life. So that is definitely an option and will be happening. But I do have some other ones here that are quite hyped. Sorry. All right. The first is a book that's been on my... How many TBRs? Can we count? The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I mean, everyone was talking about this when it was first released. And I think I got it the first day it came out. I went over to Walmart. Nora had practically just been born. I think it was like one of the first times I had left my home. And I saw it and I was like, gotta have that immediately. And then it's just sat on my shelves and everyone else has read it except me. The Testaments is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, which was written in the 80s. It's a dystopian world in which women don't have any rights in the US in particular, and women are used strictly for their fertility because that is on the decline. So the women that are fertile are used for their bodies to have children and to give those children to the elite. It's meant to be super fast paced, very much mixed, but so hyped, right? And then another book that is, I'm sure, so hyped for the best of reasons. It's The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is a heartbreaking story about a young Black girl. She's a teenager. She witnesses one of her best friends be shot and killed by police. And it's the story of what happens to her after that and through that, and how she survives. And it's such an important story. I don't know why I haven't read this yet. Probably just because there's so many books and so little time. I do want to read this. Like, I know it's so important. So The Hate U Give, I mean, probably the most hyped book we're going to talk about here. Next is How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. This is a book that I recently got at a church book sale. There was this big, huge church book sale, and I went with a friend of mine. I think I have a video coming up pretty soon of me hauling this one. This is romance. what in the world am I doing? So this woman, Margaret Jacobson, seems to have like the perfect life. Everything is fitting into place. She's got a fiance that she loves. She's got this fantastic dream job. However, I think she's on a plane for I don't know what, if it's work or what, and it goes down. She survives. She's in the hospital. And I think when she, wakes up and is realizing she's in the hospital, everything kind of falls apart. I think her fiance turns out to be a jerk. Now, I don't read romance very often. I don't know if this is contemporary or romance or both, but everyone has been talking about this. Like, so many people on BookTube have been talking about this one. So when I saw it, I picked it up because of the hype. 2 more hyped books: An American Marriage by T.R.E. Jones. So many people have talked about this. 2 people, Lauren from Lauren and the Books and Jen Campbell, both had this as one of their favorites from 2019. This is about a Black couple. The man in this couple is accused of having raped a woman. Everyone knows in this situation that it wasn't him. He had actually helped this victim of a rape moving some boxes or something, and he left, and then soon after that this woman was raped and she accuses him of having done it. It is a book that's written in letters, and it's about their relationship, the marriage, and whether the marriage can withstand his incarceration. It's meant to be really, really hard. And I think a retelling of If Beale Street Could Talk, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. Oh my gosh, this stack is insane. And then the last one is 3 Women by Lisa Taddeo. This is another one that so many people were talking about, and it's a favorite of Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, one of her favorite books from 2019. So 3 Women is nonfiction, and it follows 3 different women's sex lives. And I don't really know much more than that, and I don't know if I want to know much more than that. It's meant to be really, really good though, so that's another very hyped book. So, okay, we have to do one more. We've got to put another prompt into the cup. Shuffle, shuffle. I'll take the top one. Pet pick. So Libby will have to help out if that is chosen. Okay, so we're going to shuffle these now. There's so much shuffling in this. My goodness. And okay, all right, new release. Ooh, what am I gonna choose? Okay, so I have chosen 3 books. One of them is an arc that hasn't even come out yet, and the other 2 are books that I think came out, could be wrong, but I think came out in late 2019. First up is a book coming out on April 7th. This was sent to me by HarperCollins US, so thank you so much, guys, for sending this over. This is The Lost Orphan by Stacey Halls. I believe this is called The Foundling in the UK. This takes place in London, 1754. And we follow a woman who has given up her newborn daughter, Clara. She has moved on. She left the baby at London's Foundling Hospital, and she returns 6 years later to reclaim her daughter. I guess I don't know what's happened in her life, what circumstance she's been in, but she had to give her up and now wants to have her back. But when she goes back to the hospital, it turns out that her daughter was already claimed. And I think it's her search for her daughter. It sounds unbelievable. Next is a nonfiction book, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone. This arrived on my doorstep and I was so excited. A subscriber named Dawn sent this to me. I put up my Amazon wish list and it's linked below. I guess she went on it, found that I had wanted to read this, and she sent it my way, and it was the best. It was the most surprising, wonderful thing. This is nonfiction about a therapist who goes to therapy. It's supposed to be fantastic. Oh, can you hear Nora crying in the background? I've got to go down to her. Ooh. Okay, one more before she loses her mind is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This is another thriller. I've never read Lisa Jewell before, and this is about a case in which a baby is found, 10-month-old baby, found perfectly healthy in her crib. She's fine. Unfortunately, all of the people who live in the house downstairs are all found dead. 25 years later, this woman named Libby Jones finds out that she's inherited a house. And I think it's the same house. Oh, she's so upset. I don't know if you guys can hear her. Okay, that is the stack. I will say, I might throw this in the mix. It didn't fall under any of these categories, but this is the 4th in the Free Decline series, so you can probably bet I'll be reading this. Last thing we need to do is put another one of these into the cup. Another prompt. Ooh, she's so mad. And we're doing Big Book into the cup, and we're ready for April. I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about the crying. It's life as a mama. Let me know in the comments below what you're planning on reading for March. And also in the description box, you can go and check out my Amazon wish list if you want to. Check me out on GOODREADS and on Instagram. It's all down there. I'll talk with you soon. I have to run. Goodbye.